I think he would have to do a lot of explaining if he wouldn't resign, because under the eyes of BaFin, the German Financial Supervision Authority, we saw the biggest stock market scandal in recent German history. And as you have explained to your listeners, BaFin was more busy with pursuing journalists who wrote about the dodgy business practices of Wirecard.
Crispin Odey, the hedge fund manager, is now intending to sue BaFin, it seems, over the short selling ban. It's a tactic that's been employed over the years in the German market. Those who are in favour of short selling argue that it's another way that capitalism weeds out bad actors. Do you think it's time, if there is going to be an overhaul of regulations in Germany, that the market stuck with short selling and didn't consistently ban this activity every time they felt uncomfortable about the company being targeted?
No, well, I think, and you must understand, I'm the member of a left party who's very critical of deregulation of financial markets. So we've seen in recent financial crises that the markets do not always get it right. So my concern are not hedge fund managers or short sellers. My concern is that the German Financial Supervision Authority, which is perfectly entitled also to have short selling bans if they think there is a stress in the market that may create panic, but they did not look into the fraudulent accounts of Wirecard. This is what I'm criticizing. The short selling ban is not my primary concern.
Can I ask you about the fact that ESMA actually approved BaFin's short-selling ban back in 2019? They were saying that the proposed measures is appropriate and proportionate to address the threat to German financial markets. So is that not something which should cover BaFin's position at that point in time?
No, because, like the whole decision process at ESMA is still a matter of discussion. For example, how many members of the responsible board did even participate in that decision? There are reports that only half of them even participated. So those are issues we need to clarify now. But what we are really criticizing here is that there were numerous reports, for example, by the Financial Times, on fraudulent accounts of this new kid on the block in the German Stock Exchange, and nobody had a look at it. And BaFin basically argues that they would only be responsible, for example, to look into money laundering of Wirecard Bank, but not the whole Wirecard holding, arguing that if, for example, BMW had an own banking branch, then they would only look at the BMW bank, but they wouldn't look at BMW because it would be an automotive enterprise. And so here they argue Wirecard was a technology enterprise, not a financial holding. And that is literally absurd, because if you go on the first page of the web page of Wirecard, they advertise themselves as a financial holding, and I think that now, as BaFin is now using its oversight for the stock markets to inquire about Wirecard, why have they not done it earlier? So I think that those are excuses, and we really need to look into the failure of BaFin to look into the fraudulent accounts.